Good morning, folks. Welcome back to the channel. We're not at the farm here this morning. As you can see, we're outside the Home Depot. Here's where we're at. A couple years ago, we built a barn. Now, big picture, I had always envisioned, I was going to get a ditch witch and I was going to run power out to this thing. And this is going to be lit up for days. Like, it'd be so bright inside, it'd be like standing on the center of the sun. A couple years have passed, that hasn't happened. I'm still using temporary power that I've strung over from a heated water that's next to the barn, but I still need light in there because right now it is dark. It's darker than my sense of humor inside that building. So what are my options now? I was like, well, you know what, because I don't have a ton of power, like, in terms of like what I can run off a 120 amp breaker with obviously already running a heated water, I don't have a lot more room before I start blowing breakers. And blowing breakers on something that's, stealing power off the heated water, that could create a whole bunch more problems. So I want something that's low power consumption, but still really, really bright. I'm into LEDs at this point, right? Well, of course we're into LEDs. Look at where we're at. It's 2024. Lighting technology has advanced incredibly, actually, in the last 10 years. You can get some real, like, just wow, like, very bright lights, very low power consumption. So Canadian Tire right now is having a Black Friday sale, and I was looking, they got some 4-foot shop lights there on the regular like $70. They're on for like $40 right now. I was gonna buy 4 of those, and I was gonna get like 4,000 lumens of light, which I was like, oh, that's 4,000 seems like, that's quite a bit. But then I was like, but is it? Anyway, so one of our viewers, Chad, was mentioning he's got some string lights, and he texted me and he sent me some pictures of what he's got. Now, I can't get that particular brand without putting on a few miles and going over to Co-op, either in Dawson Creek or probably Peace River, somewhere like that. But Rona here in Grand Prairie, I could get them here in Rona and Grand Prairie, but I have to have them shipped in. I'd have to have them delivered. But Home Depot has a similar thing here, different brand, same concept. Same kind of wattage, same kind of lumen output. So 50-foot string lights. Now, when we built the shop, I was using string lights inside there, but it was like the old, a yellow extension cord with a cage and like a incandescent bulb inside of it. Not, and so you're getting like a 60-watt light bulb or whatever, a 100-watt light bulb, which is still pretty bright, but it's not like I need sunglasses bright. Anyways, let's head inside. Apparently in the back aisle 33, they got some of these, I think they're Husky brand. Husky's that's the same brand in my big rolling toolboxes, actually. They do build some good stuff. So let's go check out some lights here. Get some fresh cut spruce boughs for $9. That doesn't seem like a good deal. So this is what I currently own right now. And you can see there's limitations of what you can really do there. And this is what we're looking at. 7,500 lumens. All right, well, I got my lights. I got a second set of them as well, as you can see. One for each side of the barn. I'm not sure if I'll need 2 sets or if I'm just gonna run one down the middle. The only way to find out for sure is to put this up in the later hours of the day and just turn them on and see how bright it is. If one's bright enough, then I'll take the second string and bring it back. They're $129 each, so it's not like it's cheap by any means. And if I can get away with one, then I'll get away with one. But if I need a second one, then I got a second one, because there's only 2 in the store. So and I'm not the kind of guy that likes to wait for anything. Like, if I've got to order it and wait for it, I'm probably going to go to the next store down the street to see if they got something similar or something different or whatever that can meet my needs. So I'm kind of impatient like that. All right, going home from work here now. It's getting on into the evening. It's getting to be almost time to go string some lights here in the barn. But on the way home, there was about 6 skid steers and a whole bunch of trucks and trailers running up and down our road. I don't know if anybody else says that. It's our road. It's not the county road. The county doesn't live here. We live here. But nevertheless, they were running that 10-inch water line, frac water line, over a couple of accesses into one of our fields. So needless to say, first thing I did was drive over top of that and then go tell them they had to put a bridge in because it's not whether or not I need to move cows across that access. It's about the principle. You come and you restrict access to somebody else's property without coming to talk to them about it. That to me is wrong. Anyways, now I'm fired up about that. But I just slow cooked the ham all day. We put that on at 6:30 this morning. It's been sitting there all day. Pretty tasty. Making some spaghetti for the girls. A bit of chocolate milk. And then I think there's a lady coming to get some stuff from whatever the wife posted on the buy and sell there today. And maybe, just maybe, if there's half an ounce of ambition left, after the sun goes down, I'll string some lights in the barn. All right, well, I'm back home here now, and it is not later this evening. It's now, let's fast forward. It's a full day forward. Things didn't work out yesterday. By the time I got home, I got the kids fed, got them to bed, bathed them to bed. And then whatever was left of the evening, there was not sufficient ambition to come out here to the barn to do some lighting. Now, you can see up top there, the mezzanine, that's where the one light that we have in this building is located. And prior to building the mezzanine, you know, it did cast some light throughout the building. It was pretty effective for that. But by the time you put up the paneling for the lambing jugs, you can kind of see I've got some roughly put in there. It does kind of chop up the light and cast quite a lot of shadow. And so into lambing season, you get into March, April, you're coming out here at 2 o'clock in the morning and it's dark. Like, I mean, whatever, you got a light, but it's still dark, right? So you're coming out with flashlight, headlamps, the whole 9 yards. It sure would be great if there was just a better solution. So I'm going to unbox these Husky lights that we got here yesterday. And then I've got this one 2x4 that runs all the way down. Now the barn is 50 feet. It's 36 feet wide, 50 feet long. It's a 50-foot string of lights, so there should be no reason why I can't string it from one end to the other and then do the same on the opposite side. I'm only going to do one tonight just to see how effective it is. Now, according to the box, was it the box or was it online? I can't remember. Anyway, somewhere I read about these lights specifically that at 10 feet from the ground, they have a 36-foot span. So technically, that rail right there that runs across that beam at the bottom of the truss is 12 feet off the ground. So really, if I run it down the center, it should touch the whole sides of the building. But I'm not trying to do that. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get light specifically in my pens along the wall, which I don't have them set up on this side, but you can imagine this comes out here like that. And then I put a U and, you know, her twins or whatever in there. I want to be able to see in there. I want it to be like, again, kind of hanging out the center of the sun kind of thing. So let's get to stringing some lights. I got some zip ties. I got a ladder. I got my big woolly hat on because it is snowing like a Disney movie outside right now. So what better time to do this than right now? So just quickly open up the box here. Looks like everything's kind of stored neat and tidy. Pull this out. Chuck that to the side. So they come with these neat little straps. So you can strap it to, you know, a nail or strap it to one of them boards or whatever you want to strap it to. Really the purpose here is construction usage, right? And like I said before, I do have some other construction lights, but they're for use with a traditional incandescent bulb, so 60 or 100 watt bulb, and the power usage is super high here. You can see this is all LEDs, so it should be super low wattage, super low power usage. I don't know if I'm going to need these straps. I brought some zip ties too, just in case. Let's get them strung out here and see what it looks like. All right, so I've got one set of lights strung here, and you can see it's already like noticeably different in here. And we're going to go upstairs to mezzanine quickly, and we're going to unplug it and plug it back in so you can see how noticeably different it is. But that's one string of lights. The first one's kind of pointing down here. The second one's pointing over at the wall over there. The third one's pointing over here. The fourth one's pointing straight over there. And that one at the back is pointing straight down. All I did was string them just kind of loosely over the rafters. I left my zip ties in the bag aside from the first one just so that I could make sure that the plug was secured. But by and large, they're just facing whatever direction they're facing. Now I'm going to come back, of course, probably this weekend and make sure that every light is specifically oriented in a reasonable direction. And then I might string the other one. But let's go upstairs real quick and we're going to unplug these and we're going to have a look down here, because I mean, it looks like, I wouldn't say the center of the sun, but it looks like, hey, you could do some stuff in here after dark for $129, as opposed to stringing a whole pile of lights in here, you know, wiring up permanently, wiring boxes, you know, the whole 9 yards. That was going to be a little bit labor intensive. I just did that in like 3.5 minutes, just strung it over the rafters. And I gotta say, that was pretty doggone easy. Like I said, the only thing I got zip tied up here is right here for my multi-plug so that it doesn't move or anything like that. But we'll go ahead and unplug this one. We're gonna leave that light on just for reference, because that is the light that's on all the time. And we'll see what the difference is. So there we are with this light on. These Husky lights turned off. So you can see just right down there by the bales, like you could get around in here without tripping on anything. But you get into the back corners of the barn and pretty easy for the boogeyman to hide back there. Whereas we plug this in, holy Dinah, what a difference does that make? Like, that tractor looks like it's at the Barrett-Jackson auction right now. So I think for sure we're gonna string a second set off the other side, and I'll run an extension cord over, or I might even tie them together. Apparently these Husky lights, you can tie 10 strings of them together before the cable starts to get warm. And we'll be ready to go to the party. Now, if you haven't watched for any length of time or you're unfamiliar with the channel, you may think, well, that's a little bit unpractical to come in the door and go up on top of your mezzanine and plug in a string of lights, and surely you're not going to leave this thing turned on 24 hours a day. Well, no, I do actually have a light switch right here, so it works pretty grand, just like that. So walk in, boom, lit up. The kitties can see to catch their mice or fight amongst themselves or whatever they're gonna do. So anyways, I say for $129, I would I'd recommend that. Where's one at? Yeah, like you can see how bright that is. That's 7,500 lumens. This one at the end here is probably the best one to look at because it's facing straight down on the ladder. Like, you know, pretty good. Can see all around the tractor if a guy had to come in here and do some work on a thing after hours, after kids go to bed. Maybe not as much on this side. That's why I think I'll string this second set of lights off this side. Although it is still pretty, like, it's still pretty bright in here for sure. Oh, looks like the kids left me some, oh yeah, they left me some treats in here. I better not eat those right now. It's about -4, so probably break a tooth or something like that. Anyways, I'm gonna go inside where it's warm, or I don't break a tooth, have a biscuit, have a cup of tea, and call it a night. So I'll let you go for now. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. Hope you're staying warm, and we'll see you tomorrow.